On today's episode, I have a really good friend of mine and somebody which I'm sure that you're going to really appreciate all the great resources and tools that he's going to be talking about. As we were saying, we are right now in Cozumel, Mexico. So we can see just the ships behind and the beautiful, beautiful setting. And now also let me introduce you to my good friend, Mitch Carson. Mitch is a legend in the world of marketing. He is very well known for, in the past, for what they call the lumpy mail. Actually, he was the one that came up with, if I'm not saying it correctly, you have to tell me.
Well, dimensional mail and using those unique mailing programs in order to get things open.
Exactly.
To get the sales letter read.
Exactly. So in other words, for example, I mean, you will put something which is a little bit lumpy in your envelope, and then you will send it, and of course, because it's something lumpy, people will actually just open it to find out what's inside.
Piquing the curiosity.
Piquing the curiosity, that's correct. And right now, he's an SEO expert, and he's also fantastic in helping you become a celebrity. So, Mitch, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
It is great to be enjoying some time here in Cozumel. We're having a great time.
Estamos aquí en México, qué bueno.
Exactamente. So let me just go straight to the contents. I've been hearing some of the great stuff that you're doing with SEO, search engine optimization. Would you be so kind in sharing with me some of your favorite tips and resources that you can actually get people to implement on SEO?
Sure. Well, I mean, number one is that content, there are two components to SEO. One is on-page, making sure that you have all the on-page elements that Google looks at, very important. And number two is off-page, which deals with all your backlinks, your press releases, how others are talking about you, because when you get ranked in Google organically, which is the unpaid component, when someone looks for a search engine result page, it is a popularity contest. Who's talking about you the most? That's what links are comprised of. Who's talking about you? Who has endorsed you, given you testimonials that this is a good resource for aprons, for a dentist, for a lawyer, whatever business you're in. Someone has talked about you, therefore Google wants you to rank higher, rewards you for ranking more highly. So the best thing I can say for on-page SEO, without getting too technical here, is blogging. If you blog on a regular basis, and what do I mean by regular basis? A minimum of 3 times per week, you're going to outrank someone who only blogs once a week by 20 times.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the most recent findings I heard from HubSpot, that's one of the resources I look at, did this research and found that. And Marketing Profs also echoes those results. So on page, blog at least 3 times a week, and you'll garner 20 times more credit, popularity from Google than if you do not blog, or if you're only blogging once a week. So that's important, and to interact, to respond to the posts in which others comment on your posts. Yeah, and if you interact with them, they consider, okay, this is live content, and they look at it very favorably. So that is the very basic minimum for on-page SEO.
Yeah, great. Obviously, I mean, the name of the show is Amazing Websites, and I know that you know about some fantastic resources that you were actually mentioning a little bit earlier. Would you mind just sharing, let's say, 2 or 3 of your great resources that people can just go and find out?
Well, here's another example. One of the things is I'm a platinum subscriber to PR Web. It's a Vocus company, a publicly traded company called Vocus in the United States, prweb.com if you want to look at this. And I subscribe to the platinum press release packages. Now, I use a press release each month for each of my sites. And the reason is it gets SEO results rapidly, and we want that. It doesn't stay there for too long because you've got to do a combination of factors. It can't just be a cannon. This is a cannon, and then you wipe out a little bit of the troops, and you've got to use other weapons while you're in there. So the PR Web is great, and opt for using video embedded in your press release, because the results prove 22% more on-page viewership when you embed video into your press release. Press releases itself are great when used strategically and set up a press release calendar. So that's important. And embedding press releases, which is something that PR Web offers, they're the source I use. There are many press release sources, but that little bump will garner more credibility and more traffic, is what we're after, how to monetize what we do. So put a press release once a month into your calendar, and have an aggressive backlinking campaign. And there are so many ways to do that. I mean, that could in itself be a whole video, but backlinking is key. And then I would say the third that's important is there's a measure by SEO Moz, SEOmoz.org. If you want to look at that as a resource, it's something I subscribe to on a monthly basis. The importance of this is it probably, and this is the supposition, most probably mirrors the algorithm of Google. And what they use as their criteria for evaluation on their algorithm, backlinks, Facebook, and Facebook likes and shares. Meaning if your page is like, your business page is like, and virally if you comment, someone comments on your post and then shares it with other people, that gives a lot of value and gives a lot of traction to your Facebook shares. Twitter, you've got to tweet, and you must, if you're smart, use Google +1. That's the new social media program from Google, and it does make logical sense. Okay, Facebook is huge. Google is still the big gorilla. When people say go Google something, go Google it. And Google is going to pay a lot more attention and give greater credibility to its own properties. You know, and people say, well, what about LinkedIn? What about StumbleUpon? I mean, I can go into those are all important, but they're the minor players. I gave the major players. Get on Facebook, tweet on a regular basis, blog on a regular basis, and make sure you get on Google +1 and start getting into the circles with people.
Fantastic.
Because those are the key. If you do that, you're going to outrank most people in most niches. Perfect. Except for the most competitive. If you wanted a weight loss product, you got to do it all, and that's days of explanation of how to do that. But for most people in their niches, those tools alone, if they do that on a regular basis, follow that simple program, they are going to obliterate their competition.
Fantastic. Mitch, just very quickly, can you, we have about, every week, this show has about 2,500 viewers, and I'm sure that you would like them to connect with you, so can you just tell us where they can actually connect with you?
You can email me. I love email because I travel a lot, and I see Ernesto, for example, all over the world in different spots, sometimes English speaking, Spanish speaking, but you could find me, Mitch Carson at rocketmail.com. That's my direct email address. Best way to find me. Mitch Carson, MITCH-CARSON at,
you can just see it here,
rocketmail.com. Yes, you can see it right there, and
just there.
Just here, okay. But that's the best way to get in touch
Mitch,
with me.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
De nada.
And now it's time that we go to our featured presentation.